Hey, acclaimed actor Mark Christopher Lawrence is here with us today, and we got I'm telling you, 7 shocking things you want to know about book publishing during Corona. And I sit down with everybody's favorite sportcaster right here on Off the Fence with Finch. I'm Finch, and it all starts right now.
I turn it on, and I leave it on.
Broadcasting around the world on the World Wide Web. This is
Off the Fence with Finch.
All I can say is wow.
I'm addicted to this.
All right, guys, my first guest tonight is no stranger to you guys. You've seen him on NBC's Chuck. You've seen him in Will Smith's Pursuit of Happiness, and you're seeing him right here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Off the Fence, my man, Mark Christopher Lawrence. All right, Mark Christopher Lawrence, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up?
What's up, buddy?
It was Gremlins. I mean, I've used this platform probably 40 times during the pandemic and never had an issue.
It's bound to happen one time or another. All right, so welcome to the Fireside Chat here on Off the Fence with Finch. So does anybody ever ask you, are you any kin to Mark Lawrence?
Every once in a while, someone will ask me that.
Are you?
And I go, there's crazy in my family, but not that crazy.
Not that kind of crazy. All right, so for those of that are not familiar with you, you've been in the industry for a number of years. So let's start off by telling people, who is Mark Christopher Lawrence?
Well, you know, I'm a young man straight out of Compton. Raised in Compton, ran into a teacher that got me involved in speech and debate, who also got me involved with a mentor who got me involved in comedy. And she put me in my first play, which won the Compton Unified School District Literary Olympiad.
Okay.
So from there, that led me directly to a debate scholarship to USC. And one of my debate coaches had a friend who was an agent, came to see me in a play, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Now, do you remember your very first major opportunity?
First audition was that same year when I met this agent. I didn't even have money for pictures. She paid for my first pictures.
Wow.
And sent me out on my first audition for Hill Street Blues. And I booked the job. It was on the machine before I even got home. So then I spent the next year racing home to check the machine.
Now, you know how long ago that was. You talking about answering machine, an actual machine with the tape in it and all that, huh?
And part of it was wood.
Part of that was wood. So somebody who's getting into the industry now, the industry has changed quite a bit. Now you have social media. You have a host of ways that you don't have to do the traditional route to get into Hollywood and to do your own thing. What are some of the things that you're seeing that's trending now that you say, hey, I have to up my resume? You're thinking about years and years ago when you first started and someone had to assist you. Now, are you assisting other people to
I'm always helping somebody, people ask me, I tend not to say no. I think now the biggest thing for me is the social media piece.
Okay.
Because back in the old days, I mean, just as a stand-up comic, just based on my resume, I can get booked.
Right.
Now it's all about your social media.
Yes. Yeah. It's all about the numbers on social media, how many followers you have, because they want to know if you are an influence and impacting people. Doesn't matter about all the other work you've done.
Right. And here's the thing is like I have fans that show up because they know me from, a movie or a TV show or whatever. And which really has nothing to do with my social media. The social media helps them know what I'm doing. But when you get a bunch of guys, these young guys who will go out and buy a bunch of followers, and I got 100,000 followers, but then they get booked and 8 people show up.
Wow.
So I don't know what the answer is, but I know that it's a tool that I have to build rapidly.
So I didn't know you can buy followers. You can actually buy people that follow you. Are they bots or are they real people?
Followers.
Wow.
In fact, I've been approached many times. Listen, we can get you 100,000 followers in a couple of weeks. No, that's okay, because I need the 100,000 followers to show up.
Right. Exactly. Now, what would you say has been one of the toughest things you had to endure in the industry?
I think the toughest thing for me I'm dealing with right now is, it's hard to tell because of the COVID beard, but I'm 56, and so without this beard, I don't look 56, and so the toughest part for me is finding where I am, age range wise. People will see like an old picture of me and bring me in based on that. And then I get there and I look like my old pictures. But then if I'm standing there next to guys in their 60s, I don't look 60.
Right.
And if I'm standing there next to guys in their 40s, like 40 years old, I don't look 40, but I don't look 56. So that's been the toughest part, is dealing with, this pretty face.
You curse with the pretty, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So you have a young man's look in an old man's body. I tell you what,
and it's an old man's body because every day you wake up, something new hurts for no good reason.
No good reason.
I remember one time my elbow was killing me. I ended up going to emergency, and they do like a CAT scan and X-ray, and the ER doc says, it's tennis elbow. I said, see, that's why they call it a practice, because what is it about me that makes you think I even watch tennis?
So he thought you played tennis?
Yeah, he said it's tennis elbow. I was like, dude, I walk right past the tennis stuff.
Now, guys, if you just joining us, we have with us actor, comedian, voiceover artist, Mark Christopher Lawrence. You guys have seen him in a number of television shows and films and movies. He's here with us tonight. And Mark, at the end of the show, I'm going to ask you to fill in some sentences for me.
Okay.
That's going to be fun.
Here we go.
But see, you're a comedian, so you're quick on your feet. So you can come up with material fairly fast, right?
And we'll see.
Well, that 56 might be. We'll see if you still got it. Many moons ago when me and you met, did we meet in Hollywood?
I think the first time face to face was in Hollywood. I was at an audition
when we filmed that PSA for UNCF, right? I mean, the National Urban League. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, Mark. That was what? That might have been 12 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, you talking about
flies, bro.
A decade ago, man.
Time flies. I had none of this. None of
that. I didn't have any of it. I didn't have any of this either. Yeah. See all this gray?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's is matching your gray, and I'm not 56. See, I'm just 46. See. So when I get 56, well, I have some of those 56-year-old problems now. I got 12. I look 12. Hey, you let me shave this gray off or dye it black like some of my other colleagues do.
Look like you still got playing cards in your spokes.
It's a possibility. I have a bike now. It's a possibility. All right. So what would you say is your greatest heart desire?
I mean, career-wise, probably to just continue to work, just be in that group of actors that are working actors, and I've been pretty good at it, so for quite a while. So let's see what happens after this situation we're in clears up.
So let's talk about Corona for a second, because it's something that came upon us unexpectedly in a sense for most of us. For conspiracy theorists, they would say, hey, the government already knew, they already had it planned. But for those of us in common America who were not aware, how did this impact you initially, and how is it impacting you now?
Well, I think initially, like last year, my career, my comedy side of my career really took off. I did a dry bar comedy special and got a lot of views on that. I got one clip that has 18.9 million views.
Wow.
And so from that, all these gigs started popping up. And then, and clearly when you're working, things happen,
Right.
And so I went from really busy from, say, mid-August, late July, all the way through the end of February, and then started auditioning for pilots and stuff, and then breaks. And it's like, it was like just hemorrhaging gigs every day. Phone calls, emails, text messages. Hey, we're canceling. Hey, we got to postpone. Hey, just one after another. So went from really busy to nothing.
Right.
Still losing gigs. So, just lost 2 this month. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, same here. Ironically enough, Corona has impacted a number of us in a variety of ways, and it's an unfortunate thing, but that's one of the reasons why I started this podcast. Is I felt like purposeful. I didn't feel like I had a purpose anymore. It's like, what am I doing? And so looking at, well, hey, I like talking to people. I know a host of people in and around the industry. I know people that know people that know people. Right. So let me do something that's going to fulfill me, make me happy, but also help other people, because
there you go.
Here on Off the Fence, we helping people get off the fence, because everybody's on the fence about a host of things in life, would it be relationships, finances, jobs, careers, whatever the case may be.
Right.
And so why not help people get off that fence so they can be better people?
There's a guy that I met who he lives here in San Diego, but he, clearly an international kind of dude. He did a TED Talk several years ago and has become a millionaire from it.
Wow.
And basically his approach to life in general has been, I have this information, let me help people with it. And in the process of helping people, it ends up paying it back, tenfold.
Right.
And he just truly wants to see people succeed. We had this long conversation and I said, well, I'd like to do a TED Talk, but I don't know that there's a payment element on my TED Talk because of what it is, Right. And he says, well, the thing is, he says, your heart is in the right place. He says, he said, your heart is in the right place. You're trying to help people. He says, and because of that, you don't have to worry about the pay. The pay is going to come. Right. He says, so just continue to pursue this avenue of trying to help people. And he says, because I didn't know how to get paid from doing this. He says, and then all of a sudden there were doors opening that I didn't expect that were going to open. Right. He said it was just because I was trying to help people. So that's the good thing about what you do.
Yeah. Helping people is always good. I don't think you can ever go wrong when you're trying to help people. Mm-hmm. No matter what, because I believe helping people is going to always fulfill you. I think that's one of our life's purposes, to assist people in some area of their lives. Yeah. So, yeah. So you still live in San Diego?
Oh, yeah.
Man, now you can tell what's crazy. We saw more of each other when I didn't live here. I've lived here
right?
8 years now, and we haven't seen each other yet. We've been talking about we was going to get up for years now.
Hang out.
Right. Let's hang out, man. Come
Man, when
on,
you get
San
to
Diego. Now, I remember when you used to drive to LA almost every day, right?
Train.
Yeah, you used to train it here. I
Yeah.
remember you used to do that. I'd be like, dude, man, that was a journey, right?
Yeah, that's that was the way to do it when I was doing a lot of auditions. It's like it's just hop on that train, hop in my car on the other end, do what I got to do, drive back to the train station, come on home.
Yeah. So post Corona, outside of acting, I started stand up last
Did
year.
you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You need a coach?
I do. I do. See, I really do need a coach.
I'm coaching, man, on Zoom. It's one-on-ones.
Okay.
Yeah,
Definitely. And one of the things I love about stand-up, like I'm really coming into my comedy persona, and really becoming that person so I can tell my stories. I've heard stories of comedians starting out who, they get on stage and they're funny, but they're not really saying anything. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't want to be one of those comedians just being funny, but I'm learning now how to share my life stories, events that are funny that I can share when I'm on stage. And I'm telling you, man, I've been on stage a few times now. I had a chance to perform downtown before COVID. I was going to perform at the big comedy spot up in Van Nuys. Okay. And so, I'm looking forward to getting back out here and being able to perform again. But I really love it, man. Now, one of the things I didn't know about you were you're a voiceover actor. Now, we kind of share the same thing. Now, outside of acting, I have never really acted. I've been in a few things, but it wasn't really much speaking. It's just personality wise. But I've done voiceover for years and now getting into comedy. So for you, give us some of the voices that you've done, some of the voice characters you've done.
I usually get hired to do my voice.
Really?
Yeah. Like most of the voiceover gigs I get is me being like the young dad or something like that. Or I told my agent I am 9 for 9 when auditioning over the phone. I've had over the years 9 gigs that I booked over the phone. Just they call me up and say, "Hey, here's the copy. We'll call you right back." Then they call me back and I read it, and then they go, "Oh yeah, we'll go, let's do that."
Right.
I did 8 years on a series called Adventures in Odyssey, which has been on probably over 35 years now.
Wow.
And all the kids that played my kids in the family, they grew up in real life. And then the young lady who played my wife, she lost her battle with cancer. And so since all of that happened, that family is gone. But they did bring me back one episode last season. But I tend to work for the same 4 or 5 people over and over again. But talking about voices, I did my first job out of college. I did a play with San Francisco Mime Troupe. And so in that play, I played 9 characters, all different voices. Then I did a show at the San Diego Rep and played, I think, 6 characters. And then I did a show with Lamb's Players Theater where I played 15 characters.
Okay.
So I can do voices, but it's like, they don't just pop into my head and start talking to me.
You would probably seem crazy if that happened, right?
Yeah, probably.
Wouldn't get much work out of that if you do that. So oftentimes people are asking seasoned actors, what advice would you give young people? People just starting out in the industry. I'm not going to ask you that question. I want to know, what would you say to someone who may have gone out on a few auditions, haven't booked anything yet, and they feel like, hey, maybe I made a bad decision or the wrong decision getting into this industry? What would you say to them?
I'll tell you this. My first 5 years out of college, all my friends who were on the debate team were clerking for judges and working for major law firms, and I'm struggling waiting tables and bartending and And but every time it seems like I wanted to try to go do something else, it's like God closed the door and then gave me a gig. And so what I would say to those people is don't give up. If this is really what you want, don't give up. Just keep pursuing it, because it'll happen for you. You know, people that went to school with me, you know, me and Tommy Ford were in the same class at SC. And we used to laugh and say we were 100% of the black population of the USC Bachelor of Fine Arts candidates, you know, for that year. And he and I and probably a handful of others are still in the business. Well, you know, he passed, but everybody else gave up.
Wow.
So if you give up, then you don't have a shot at all.
Would you say it's easy to give up versus to press forward and persevere?
You know, if this industry was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah, everybody would do it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So no, it's not going to be easy, and I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that it is. You know, every day there's some sort of a challenge. There's some kind of thing. The other night I had the mother of all sinus infections, and had to put an audition down on tape, you know, on self-tape. And, you know, I looked at the tapes that I shot and went, these look terrible. I look sick. And so I called a friend of mine and took a shower, and then he came over and shot it. And it was much better because I didn't have to try to deal with the camera and all that. And I was actually reading with somebody, and we got 2 good takes out of it and sent it in. So you got to work at it.
Got to work at it. Do you think people in today's industry that's coming in today don't work as hard as, you know, some of you guys?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I think people that really want it work hard, and that's the thing. It's like either you're gonna work hard or you're not gonna play. That's
right.
The way it is.
That's the way it goes. All right. So here we go. I want you to finish these sentences. Drum roll, please. All right. Life is
challenging.
The world needs
love.
Okay. Now, what kind of love we talking?
All kinds of love. I mean,
okay. Somebody needs some love tonight, huh?
We're in a situation now where love is not, you know, readily available. You know, it's like the cultural division, the racial division, and all that. That's because love is absent.
All right. I believe in
the basic goodness of people.
The basic good. And what would you say the basic goodness of people are?
That's going to vary from person to person. Everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses. And some of us make choices that are based on you know, being good, trying to help people. And I think that's some of the glue that holds the fabrics of society together.
Okay.
You know, just basic goodness.
Okay.
Be good to each other, people.
Be good to each other, people. All right. Love is
most excellent.
Ooh, look at you. You went to private school, didn't you?
College. I went to public school in Compton.
All right, here's the last one. I want to thank.
Wow. God, my mother, my sister, everybody who has ever done anything to help me do what I'm doing today. Mrs. Schilling, you know, that 10th grade teacher that got me involved in all of this. Perry Brents, Lennon Trotter. There's so many people that I could thank. You know, every pastor that I've ever run into, even over the past couple of years, just running into pastors doing comedy at churches. I have an army of people praying for me all the time. Even when I feel like, things are at their darkest, there's always something popping up on my phone. Somebody's sending me a message, that I need right at that moment, which has been such a brilliant thing. Just want to thank all those people for being in my life and enriching my life and praying for me.
Okay. Now, you talked about dark times. How does Mark Christopher Lawrence maneuver through challenging times that you deem to be dark?
You try not to let it shut you down. I think I probably, over the past 9-10 years, I probably had one of the darkest periods of my life. And in that, the challenge was to get up every day and go do something. Get up every day and I'm not gonna lie to you. There were a couple of days where I was just like, I'm just gonna stay in this bed. I'm not adulting today. And then, so I would say, get up, move,
keep moving,
because if you lay there and die, it'll let you.
How would you say someone, because oftentimes when we are in those dark places, and we've all been there, and I think sometimes when you are known for your work and considered a celebrity of some sort, it's a tad bit difficult to maneuver at times, because you're looking at, sometimes people are thinking about what people are thinking or saying. So someone who's sitting at home right now through COVID, through challenges, through, let's say, a divorce, loss of job, whatever the case may be, how do you think, in your opinion, they can maneuver mentally? Because oftentimes that's the challenge, is it's in your mind, how to move from one place to the next. What advice would you give them about getting over their mental roadblocks?
The first thing you got to do is you got to surround yourself with people who won't let you lay down. You have to surround yourself with a group of people that love you unconditionally, with a group of people that have only your best interest at heart, who give you the straight dope every time. Sure, it's going to sting a little bit, but then they're going to give you a hug at the end.
Right.
But you got to start there. Find you a core group of people that you can count on, that you can turn to when things are bad.
That's good.
People that have an uplifting word are people that are really good at problem solving. And my group of friends that are in that circle, some of them are military, some of them are engineers, and they all have a different strength. And we feed on each other. And we help each other. And if something happens, we're all there.
That's good. That's good. Mark Christopher Lawrence, ladies and gentlemen, how can people, if they want to follow you, they want to get involved in some of the things you're doing, where can they find you?
MarkChristopherLawrence.com.
MarkChristopherLawrence.com. That's easy.
All the social media is on there. Clips, reels.
Everything you need, right?
Yep.
All right, Mark Christopher Lawrence, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really, really appreciate you. And we got to hang out soon, man. All right, guys, up next, the publisher himself is here to help you with tips to get you along your way. We'll be right back.
Whether your day starts at home or 3,000 miles away, there is one constant. Great days start by looking your best. From the moment you cinch your tie, adjust your scarf, put on your shoes, or straighten your name tag, every detail of your uniform was designed with you in mind. The new uniform collection by Land's End, created for you and by you. Pride in profession and passion for what we do every single day is the driving force behind the best trained, most skilled team members in the business. Together, we are American Airlines, and we make this look good.